I always tell people, they're interested in starting their own business, their own project, their own idea to start fleshing it out. I'm like, start with an experiment. Back in the day when I was a teenager, I wanted to do karaoke. I thought karaoke was like the coolest thing in the world. So I went out and, spent like $2,500 on getting a whole karaoke setup. And I did it one time and I hated it. I love singing karaoke. I love being in the presence of like the karaoke thing, but running it was totally boring to me.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a bad experiment. It was $2,500. That's not going to make or break you, right? Likewise with the pedicabs. The pedicabs, I think I got that started for, $20,000, I think, to buy 5 of these brand new pedicabs. Again, it's not an insurmountable number, worst case scenario. I didn't like it. I sold the cabs. I was out a couple grand and we move on to the next thing. Pizza, likewise, pizza was an experiment. I didn't even know how to make pizza. We'd ride the pedicab and you'd have, $1,000 saved up after a week or two of riding your pedicab. And I'd go onto these auction sites where they were selling like just dirt cheap restaurant equipment, used, just awful stuff. And I started buying all the things that I thought I would need to set up a pizza shop. And eventually, after riding that pedicab for, enough weeks in a row and buying a cheap refrigerator, a cheap prep table, a cheap oven, a cheap, set of smallwares, at these restaurant auctions, there was enough stuff to start to experiment with making a pizza. And we didn't even make our own pizza at the beginning. We bought it from another pizza shop and just heated it up and sold it, for like the first couple of weeks until things really started taking off. So, I've always adopted the, start as an experiment to figure out if this is something you even want to lean into. And then when you start seeing the results, when you start, we started seeing lines at Late Night Slice really early on. We started seeing a lot of people adopting the pedicabs early on. Okay, let's lean into that then. This is something that's working. Now we're going to spend some money on it. Now we're going to spend some calories actually fleshing out this idea now that the base work is done and proven itself.